Oh, hey, it's Shawnee in the back with another episode of Shawnee's Lab. So I'm gonna come on here and talk about the Chris Brown controversy. First, I want to start out by saying, so I go to Dunkin' Donuts and they make me this coffee and it tastes like freaking water and mix. So I had the black girl remake it for me and she made it just right, cause we know each other. But so Chris Brown, he made a song recently where he was saying, he only likes women with something with like good hair. So basically, black women are saying, oh, he's dissing us, because he's saying he only like a certain type of woman with a certain type of hair. Now it is true when you look at like Chris Brown's background and you look like the type of women that he's dated in the past and recently, he doesn't date a lot of black women. He dates a lot of biracial or mixed women. But I feel like this whole thing was like sort of a bait, and people really fell for the bait instead of looking at it for what it is. Like for growing up, my mom, she didn't allow my sister to wear weaves and things of that nature. It just wasn't allowed. So, she always had her natural braids or her puffs or, twists, whatever, the case may be. And when she got older, my mom started to allow her to, do the weaves, if she wanted to do that or whatever, but that was far in between. And even, that rubbed off on my sister because my niece, she, would come to us saying she wants to do this hairstyle and that hairstyle. My sister would be like, well, no, because that's not your natural hair, so at the end of the day, loving yourself and your hair, just like the video I made, my beautiful black skin or whatever the video was titled that I had made a couple weeks ago. It starts with self-love and it starts from the home. If more black women actually, this is kind of how I feel. A lot of black women do wear weaves, and I'm not saying that they're the only women who wear weaves, but a lot of black women wear weaves. They don't wear their real hair. They don't appreciate their real hair. And as soon as someone comes out with a comment saying, oh, like it's comment like Chris Brown said, then everybody wants to everybody wants to be upset and, oh, he's dissing us and he's dissing us. But, you're kind of dissing yourselves, Y'all spend, what, $200 to $400 on these bundles, but then y'all want to pretend and, make it seem like, you just love your black hair so much. Like, how can you love your natural hair and your natural self so much when you are constantly beating your face with, makeup products and constantly putting, other people's hair in your head? Like that's the only thing that kills me. Again, I'm not excusing Chris Brown. I don't agree with what he said. I think that he was trolling, honestly. Secondly, black women are, your biggest supporters. So for you to go against the people who support you is stupid. As you can see from white women and other women, they're not supporting you. So why would you go ahead and, say such disparaging things about black women? But again, I'm not going to sit here and act like, this shit doesn't start from women themselves. Like, again, you have a lot of women, with, kinky hair or, hair that isn't really seen to be beautiful in modern society. But that shouldn't matter. Like I said, like I wear my natural hair, and I have no problem with my natural hair. Like, people can say, whatever they want about it, but at the end of the day, it's my natural hair. Like, it's the shit that grows out of my head. Like, the face you see here is my skin. I'm not putting on, well, of course, because men don't wear makeup, but you get you get what I'm saying. You can't scream up and, you can't scream, I'm natural, I'm beautiful, and I'm natural, and I'm beautiful when you're wearing a pound cake face full of makeup and, $400 to $200 bundles of hair. Like, that always killed me. And I remember in high school, I would ask my cousins and I would be like, well, why do y'all spend so much, on bundles? I'm like, you have nice hair, why don't you just do something with it? And they're, and people come up with the excuses of why, and that's another thing, when Chris Brown saying, he only likes girls with good hair, that's, to me, that's not even a diss. That's basically saying, that's more of a, a natural look. But I do personally believe that he was taking a dig at black women, which is not okay. But what I'm saying is, you to the people who are screaming, with this, with this, with this. These are the same people who have other people's hair in their hair and who's wearing faces full of makeup. Like, that's why I made my video a couple weeks ago when I talked about, being my beautiful black self. That's what I titled it. It's okay to be your beautiful black self. You don't have to put on a face full of makeup to feel beautiful. You don't have to put in other people's hair, to feel beautiful. You don't have to have a certain texture, or, your hair doesn't have to sway a certain way for you to feel like you're beautiful. And like I said, furthermore, I just feel like this whole Chris Brown thing was one big. This whole Chris Brown thing, it was just one big. What is the word? Oh, I can't find the word, and I just said it like 5 minutes ago. It was one big. It was a bait. Like, he basically baited black women into, coming onto his page and leaving all sorts of comments and, starting an argument. And then, like, we have to understand, like, this man is on obviously a bunch of drugs. He's obviously not okay in the head. He's been beat women. He's done, stalked women, so it's just like, who even cares what he has to say? But the only point that I wanted to make was, if you are one of those people who don't appreciate your real hair, who don't ever show you, and that's another thing, it's the people who've never shown, like, if you go into their Instagram profiles or, their Twitter or whatever, I bet you will not find just a natural picture of them, like, with no makeup, no weave, like, you will not find it. So again, what was he really trying to say? And again, I hope no one takes this video as a defense for Chris Brown, because it's not. Like I said, I don't agree with the things he said, but I do have a qualm, with people who get upset, when someone calls out, the weave wearing, makeup wearing women, but and they talk about, oh, it's our hair, we should be able to do what we want with our hair. No, you putting someone else's hair in your hair is not hair. And maybe, it's just my own, strong opinion. Like, I just don't like the fake hair and, the fake bodies and all. Like, it's nothing there for me. But again, you have to appreciate your beautiful black self. Like, you can't, like, if more black women actually wore their natural hair out, and, took more photos and just celebrated their natural looks, I guarantee you no one would have been upset. We all would have just laughed at them and moved on, like, fuck is he talking about? But because I think this strikes a nerve with a lot of women, because they know that truly, that they wear these wigs and weaves and all this type of things to hide their natural black beauty. And we know it. So again, we just need to really think about, what type of messages and what type of imagery we're sending to our children. Because if you're sitting up here with blonde hair and long weaves and, face full of makeup, that's everything that's not natural to your original self, what messages and, what imagery are you putting into the, the minds of children and your nieces and your nephews? I mean, not your nephews, your nieces and, little girls in your community, just we have to think about things like that.